Still here.
Hello again.
Still got my top on. Look.
I still haven't.
But it's warm inside.
Yeah. So this is another part of our Back to Basics.
Back to Basics.
And this is about what kind of stuff should you wear on a motorbike?
Clothing, you mean?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, what sort of clothing should you wear on your motorbike? So I'm going to film Mark, and Mark's going to talk about it.
I'm being filmed now, aren't I? It's a bit worrying.
You're being filmed.
I'm being filmed, right. Getting dressed, being ready to ride a bike can cost you a fortune, can be done really cheaply. It's up to you. You make the decision. It's how much money you've got, disposable cash, and all the rest of it. So what we're going to do is we're going to show you what you need, give you a couple of options, and then you really have to think about what you actually want to spend. So we'll start at the top of the head, the top of the body, which is the head.
Is it?
It is, apparently. And you need a helmet. Helmets come a huge range of prices. You can get them from Aldi for about 60 quid, 50 quid. You can get them from motorbike dealers for £700. It's your choice. So your helmet has to be government approved, and the sharp ratings. Some people like the sharp ratings, some people don't. It gives you a score of how your helmet performs in an accident. Some cheaper helmets perform better than more expensive helmets, and it really is a personal thing. One thing I will say is if your helmet has a DOT stamp on it, it's not government approved. It's an American standard which isn't really acceptable in the UK. But I know there are people who ride them, so whatever. Yeah. Then you got a choice on your helmet. You've got colours, different shapes, sizes, names, all the rest of the stuff. This one is a flip front, and it has a screen inside, which a sunscreen which drops down. Not all of them have it. Some have it, some don't. It really is up to you. The visor, they all have a visor on them. Most of them anyway, unless you buy a particular type of shark helmet that has a pair of goggles or something like that. And some are what they call pin lock ready. We've done a video about fitting pin locks, and basically it's like a bit of double glazing inside that stops them fogging up. So that's the choice you've got. It's up to you how much money you want to spend. It's a whole subject that people get really animated about, so we won't go into that. It is totally up to you.
The main thing is that you've got a helmet that's comfortable, that fits your helmet, and that you're comfortable wearing.
Yeah, I mean, some helmets, they're just made in a particular size. The shell is the same size whether you buy a large, medium or a small, and they pad it out with different size padding. Other companies make a different size shell for large, medium or small. You really have to try on a few, you have to kiss a few frogs before you find a prince, apparently.
Try one on, just don't buy one off the internet, try one on first.
If you're going to buy it off the internet, then go into a shop and be really cheeky and try on the helmet you're looking at, and then you can buy it from the internet. But there are some charlatans around who will sell dodgy helmets, even though it might say a well-known make on them, so perhaps better to buy from a shop anyway.
Yeah.
Right, what we're going to talk about next then? Well, clothing, jackets and things like that. We've got Toby's jacket here, which is a Klim.
Or climb, as some people call it.
Climb, Klim, yeah. Whatever. Okay. Again, a whole minefield of what people want to spend and all the rest of it. You can buy cheap jackets, you can buy very expensive jackets. And it is your choice. But it's important that the jacket fills a few criteria. You need shoulder pads. Shoulder pads are different types. D30 is the sort of the rigger thing, which is an impact material, so it's nice and floppy. Thank you very much for that, Toby.
Okay.
It's nice and floppy, then when it impacts it goes hard and then goes floppy again. You need shoulder elbow pads in it. Yeah. God, I'm really bad at this, aren't I? I think I've put a jacket on so many times.
I remember that song, head, shoulders, knees and toes.
Okay, adjustable cuffs is a bonus, because you can stop the wind going up your sleeves and things like that, and it cups. And you're underneath your gloves. Now, backpacks. This has had the backpack taken out of it because we wear a Helite vest over the top which has a backpack in it. So you will get some jackets that have these little CE approved back pads in, which is basically just, a mouse mat really fitted in the back of the jacket. It's the bare minimum, so again you make the choice of whether you want to spend a lot of money and put better padding in there. And then on the front, on Toby's jacket, you'll notice he has a chest pad. Okay, this is again, some jackets have them, some jackets don't. It really is a cost thing and your personal choice. What else do we need? We need to have vents in them perhaps if you're riding in hot countries. If you're just going to be riding in cold Northern European countries, then probably you don't need that so many vents. Adjustable shoulder straps, bicep straps on it to make sure the thing doesn't flap around and get caught by the wind. And this one has zips to expand the cuffs as well. I think I've probably covered that now.
Yeah.
We're filming now.
I suppose something to think about with a jacket, as well as the trousers that we'll talk about in a minute, is where are you going to ride? Do you want something that's warm? Because some of them come with inners to keep you warm. Is it waterproof? Do you need it over the top waterproof? But the main thing with the jacket and the trousers is that it actually fits you.
Yep.
You don't want a jacket that's 3XL because it's been given to you, but you're an extra small, because you will just be fumbling on the bike, and that could then cause you to get caught on something and then come off the bike. It needs to fit properly, doesn't it?
Yeah,
and not be
exactly.
flappy and stuff.
That's very sound advice, that, Toby.
Oh, thanks. You're saying the nicest things.
So we need to talk about what you wear underneath your clothing as well.
Not lingerie.
Oh, only on Fridays. Again, it's a massive subject. What you need to wear, but basically you need to be comfortable. If you have a jacket that has a liner in it, you might not need to wear lots of stuff. We've done videos on this before. We sort of wear this Hallie Hansen type stuff and Halversons. There's lots of different makes, merino wool. What you don't want is something that makes you sweaty. And I see time and time again on tours where people have got cotton t-shirts on and they're just wet all day, because cotton is not a good wicker of sweat, and if you're hot and sweaty, that's uncomfortable. So you don't need to be uncomfortable. So you're probably looking at a wicking thing close to your body. Then if you need a fleece underneath your jacket if it's cold, you know, again it's choice, and you need to look around and see what you get. Bizarrely enough, Aldi again, we've mentioned them twice now in the same video, we're doing merino wool underwear for about 16 quid.
Yeah, really good price actually, and really good stuff.
Yeah, which is like really bizarre, you know. So have a look around. You don't want to wear something that's going to restrict you, be uncomfortable. A hoodie, for example, you know, the hood's going to get caught in the wind and whipped out behind you, look like Snoopy. Yeah. So jackets, what you need and what you wear underneath is a personal choice, but you don't have to spend a lot of money if you're not going to do a lot of riding. And then we go down to trousers. Here we are, I'll just pull mine up.
He's going to do a twirl.
I am.
Dun dun dun!
There we go. Okay, so trousers. A lot of trousers come fitted with braces. What you don't want is a pair of trousers that are going to fall down while you're walking around. Okay, so
or while you're riding.
Or while you're riding.
Especially in the small of your back.
Yeah. So you need to find a pair of trousers that fit snugly to you. Again, padding is or you know, in case of a fall, is important. And these trousers, these are Rucker, they have big pads on the hips, which some do, some don't. They have big pads on the knees that go down and cover the shins, and they have zips up the side for vents and things like that. This is a Gore-Tex pair of trousers, a little bit expensive. Again, it's your personal choice. If you don't want to spend out the money on Gore-Tex, or you can't afford to, then a waterproof rain suit will be just as good.
Or even, you know, if you're riding in a warm country, they do some really, really stonkingly good looking jeans that have got all of that protection as well. Yeah. So it doesn't have to be Gore-Tex, it's just, like Mark said, down to your budget.
But you need to wear something. Yeah. It's unacceptable to be riding around in shorts.
And flip-flops.
And flip-flops. Now, I know in foreign countries where it's hot and all the rest of it, you know, you might be tempted to do that. You know, it's better to have a pair of trousers or a jacket that's ripped and torn because you've skidded down the road a little bit, because it happens. Two types of biker, ones that have fallen off and ones that are waiting to fall off. Okay, so if you're just riding in a pair of shorts and flip-flops, you're going to leave your skin all over the floor, so don't do it. Wear proper clothing. And when we
Sounds
get...
like a... Hang on.
Hang on, he's going to make a profound statement now.
Well, Do you remember Baz Luhrmann brought a song out in the 90s? Where sun's good.
That's the second time you've mentioned Baz Luhrmann.
Oh,
in
he's
one of our
brilliant.
videos.
Go and find it. Go and listen to it. And that's what we're saying.
Wear
the appropriate stuff.
There you go.
Yeah. I'm just an idiot.
Yeah. So boots. Boots is another emotive subject. You can spend hundreds and hundreds of pounds on boots. What I would suggest is you don't ride a motorcycle in trainers, because they're not going to give you any protection at all. You can buy off-road boots, you can buy touring boots, you can buy long boots, short boots, all sorts of boots. However, my advice would be to buy a boot that's a little bit longer than normal, like comes up your shin, like these boots. These are extreme cold weather boots. They're British military boots. They've got lots of leather around. They're quite padded, good soles, vibrant soles, so you can walk around on them. Toby's got BMW Savannah boots, I think they're called, which I shall now video now and show you.
These are the boots that I wear.
Hang on.
Really tall boots. They've got different ways of bringing them in and making sure that they're tight. They're Velcro held. They've got a shin pad. But most importantly, like Mark was saying with the boots, they need to have some protection, don't they? And some sort of ankle protection, some sort of protection here, whether it's just thick leather or whether it is actually a protection pad, but also something on your toe, because that's where you're going to be changing gear, so you don't want to wear something that's going to wear through really quickly.
Exactly. Now, here I am again. Back to boots. You can spend an absolute fortune on boots, and I always try to look around and see what's available, because I've seen people have bought boots for £400-500. Absolutely useless, not waterproof at all. I've seen people who've bought boots for like 60 quid, 40, 60 quid, and they're fantastic. So again, it's what your pocket fills. Don't be led by the market, have a look around. Gloves. Let's talk about gloves. Two different types here. Again, you can spend a fortune, you can spend not a lot, but what you are looking to have is protection. A pair of woolly gloves is not going to do the job. What you need is a pair of leather gloves, because when you fall off, invariably what the first thing you're going to put your hand put out is your hand to stop yourself. So you need protection on the palm and the fingers, leather. On the back you need knuckle protection as well, because you're going to bash your knuckles as you go over the bike. You'll catch your hands on bits and pieces, and they need to be supple enough for you to actually change gear, feel the switches and all that kind of stuff. Again, these are adjustable, different sizes. Make sure you buy a glove that fits you. There's so many people who go, yeah, these are nice gloves, but they're a little bit too small for me, they're a little bit big. Spend the time and get a pair of gloves that fit you properly. And if it costs you a little bit more, we're talking protection.
But
in the
very
end.
often, the gloves that you think you're going to buy, which are really expensive, don't end up being the best ones. Those Rika gloves that I use, that Mark's holding there, are £40, and it means that they're thin enough, they keep my hands warm, dry, and they allow me to feel all of the switches really well, and they're my preferred gloves. I've tried the other ones, but for me, the cheaper ones are the better ones for me. So it's not all about spending hundreds and hundreds of pounds.
Absolutely not. These are the ones that I wear. These are they're BMW gloves, but these are a bit strange because they're dual gloves. They have a winter bit, which is nice and fleecy, and they have a summer bit, which is when you're riding in the summer, you get wind comes through the palm. Again, leather, abrasive bits on them. There's even a little rubber screen here to wipe your visor, which some gloves have, some don't. I don't know whether it works or not, but good protection and adjustable, so for your hands. So these are about 130 quid. Toby's were 40 quid. I think this is my third pair of these. I really like these. Toby's had those for about 50 years now.
Yeah, that's funny you should say that. That's my third pair of those as well.
There you go. So it really is horses for courses. Again, don't be led by the markets and what people say you should have and all the rest of it. Look and find what fits you, suits you, and more importantly, fits your pocket. You don't want to put yourself in debt necessarily. Next thing we're going to talk about is ears. How many times do I see people who ride a motorcycle and don't have earplugs in, and they say, oh, I can't hear the bike, I can't do the rest of it. Alright, it's rubbish, it's rubbish. If you ride a bike for 15 minutes without earplugs in, you're going to damage your eardrums. Okay, now you might get away with it for 2 years, 10 years, 20 years, but you're going to have damaged eardrums. I can't stress it enough. Wearing earpieces is vital.
Well, they say after 15 minutes of the constant air noise of the air going over your helmet. Bear in mind your helmet might not be the quietest, it might be really quiet, but that frequency is what causes the issue, isn't it? The frequency of the noise of the wind, and 15 minutes in continuous wind noise will damage your hearing forever.
Yeah. So this isn't very good actually, because we're black on black here.
Yeah.
But these are, if I just show you these here, these are Toby's earplugs. Lots of different types. Again, you can spend 10 quid, you can get those ones from supermarkets. Or
yeah, just like Workman ear defenders.
that you squeeze and put in your... the thing is, you need to clean them regularly. I've seen people who take those squeezy things, put them in their mouths and then shove it in their ear, and it's just like, I'm waiting for an infection. That's all you're waiting for. I've seen people who've had those moulded ones that fit in. Okay, they're very expensive in the UK. They're about £120, something like that.
And some people swear by them.
Absolutely swear by them, and you know, I don't use them personally. I know a guy who had a pair and got an ear infection out of them, probably because he didn't clean them enough. But you know, I use a different type of earplug. You can still hear music. You can still hear the bike. So this fallacy about I can't hear the bike, I can't hear the music is just rubbish. Wear ear protection. Like Baz Luhrmann said, wear sunscreen, wear ear protection.
You'll miss your ears when they're gone.
And you only get 2 of them.
Yeah.
So I think we're about done really. Oh, one final thing is when you're wearing your helmet, if you're follically challenged like I am, I wear a thin balaclava, either a silk balaclava underneath, and I do that not because I'm cold or anything, but if you've got hair, sweat is absorbed by your hair, and it's a little bit of a protection between your helmet and your scalp if you want. If you haven't got any hair, then to wear a balaclava just gives you that little bit of protection. It wicks the sweat away from you, and you can stay comfortable if you're riding for a long time. So don't waste a lot of money on them. I think they're about 15 quid.
Yeah.
You know, in the UK you can get them cheaper, and it's something to pay to worth thinking about if you have very little hair.
So that's our little thing about what you should wear. And it sounds really silly, doesn't it, talking about what you should wear, but if you're new to biking, we know what it's like to feel embarrassed, to turn up and be on a bike and be really worried about what you're going to be doing on the bike in front of people that you think are watching you because they're seasoned bikers. It's a real big thing, isn't it? And if you turn up in the wrong stuff, and what do you think people think about you? What do you look like? It doesn't matter what you look like, because if you look okay and if you feel okay and you're wearing the right stuff, you're going to look okay when you've been chucked down the road. And that's what's really important.
That's really important actually, and it's who cares what people think about how you look, all right? If you're safe, comfortable, and if you have an accident protected, that is what is important.
Yeah. And it doesn't matter what people say, oh, you know, you've got the wrong colour with the wrong colour, your helmet doesn't quite match your bike. There will be people that will go out and buy stuff that match their bike, and that's totally fine.
Of course
but
it is.
We're just kind of talking about the basic stuff you need to try and protect yourself, not only from the elements, but you will come off.
The elephants?
The elements.
I thought you said elephants.
Because you will come off. We've all come off our bikes, whether it's standing still, whether it's riding, whatever speed, we've all come off and we will come off again. And it's just about protecting yourself.
So if you like the video, give us a thumbs up. There's a subscribe button somewhere. Toby does all that wizardry. I'm just the face, obviously. And we'll see you in the next video. We'll see you in the next video.